Have you ever wanted to own some of these VHS tapes? Well, now you can at the Back to the Past store on eBay. I'm selling a ton of tapes from my collection, some rare and some not so rare. So just click the link in the description and buy a piece of the past today. Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another Back to the Past unboxing video. Only it's more of an unbagging video in this case, because today we're here to talk about a bag full of Cartoon Network DVDs. So obviously Cartoon Network was a big part of my childhood, and basically it's my goal to try and collect all of the cartoons I liked growing up. Only it's not as easy as it sounds, because Cartoon Network shows are notoriously hard to find on, physical media. And I know some of them are probably available on streaming services and stuff like that, but they can just take that stuff off whenever they want and just, delete it and remove it forever, which sucks. So I really want to own them physically. Plus it's better than what you used to have to do, where you had to go on all these dodgy websites to find and watch old episodes, and it's just better to own them physically for me. But like I said, they're extremely hard to find on DVD, so sometimes I've had to go to the most far-off places to get some of these shows. So basically I thought I'd go through this bag and take a little look at the home video situation for each of these shows. So it should be pretty interesting. So let's start digging into this bag and see what we can find. Let's get started. So I figured I'd start off with some compilation DVDs. So this is a bunch of different cartoons all mixed onto one disc. And the first one is Toon Foolery, Fool About Laughing. So I believe these were released with the Cartoon Network magazine. Back in the day, they used to release a Cartoon Network magazine, and I used to collect it all the time. That was every Friday after school, pick up an issue of the magazine. And most of the time they'd give you free gifts taped to the front cover, like, a toy skateboard or, sweets or something like that. But sometimes they'd give you DVDs. So this one had, I think, 6 cartoons or something like that on it. I think there's a list of them here. Yeah. So there's Johnny Bravo, the Powerpuff Girls, Billy and Mandy, Cow and Chicken, Ed, Ed and Eddy, Dexter's Lab, and Codename Kids Next Door. Operation Mini Golf, which I remember being a pretty bizarre episode. And it says, "Warning, you may never frown again." So I guess this DVD will turn you into the Joker or something like that. So they actually released 2 of these DVDs, and I think these are the only 2 they ever put out. But the interesting thing about them is that they actually, on the DVDs themselves, they actually kind of make it look a bit like the channel. So in between the cartoons, they actually have the the logos and the idents and promos for things like that. Promos for new cartoons at the time and new seasons and stuff like that. So that's pretty neat actually. That makes these kind of a bit of a throwback to look back on if you want the Cartoon Network TV experience like it was back then. So yeah, I don't think these are that rare. I'm pretty sure you can just pick them up on eBay or something, but they're pretty nostalgic to look back on these Toon Foolery DVDs, because they come straight from the Cartoon Network magazine. So next we have a DVD of Codename Kids Next Door, which was one of my favourite cartoons growing up. The one all about, the secret agent kids who would fight grown-ups from their treehouse. And I used to watch this all the time. In fact, the reason I had a treehouse in the back garden was because of this show. I remember they had a huge treehouse, so I was like, I want a treehouse in my back garden, and it was about maybe 1/10 the size of the treehouse in this show. It was pathetic, really. But I think this is the only DVD they made of Kids Next Door over here. I'm not sure. This is one of those shows that's never had a proper DVD release. So it's kind of hard to get it all properly. So, and I don't think there's that many episodes on this disc, so there's only 10. So it's Operation Ice Cream, Pirate, Lice, Lizzie, she was a nutcase, The Fly, Cats, Spank, which I remember that one actually, Spank. That's, looking back on that is hilarious, because I'm amazed they got away with that episode, looking back on it. And Support and Grow Up, Part 1 and Part 2, which I think was like a season finale or something. They used to do big season finales for Kids Next Door, which was kind of fun. But I think there are 6 seasons of this show or something, so... But this is the only DVD they ever released here, was Super Hugest Missions, File 1. Of course, being kids, they spelt everything wrong, so it's super as a S-O-O-P-E-R, which, that's funny. The vernacular of Kids Next Door. So this is The Amazing World of Gumball, Volume 1, or, well, it says The Amazing Season 1, even though it's not Season 1, because it only has, like, 12 episodes on it, when I think it has, like, 40 or something like that. But yeah, a slightly more modern cartoon. I guess not so modern now, but this is the only modern Cartoon Network show I really kept up with. I think I was just flicking through one day and I caught it on Cartoon Network and I thought, hey, that's actually a really smart, funny show. This is actually good fun to watch. So I am quite a fan of The Amazing World of Gumball. But again, I think this is the only DVD they ever put out here. There might be more in, I think in sort of America there are more DVDs, but probably not the complete series. When it would be nice to just have a big box set of all the episodes, but not the case. There's a good disc though with Gumball pressed up against it. That's pretty funny. So yeah, Gumball. This is a good show. I just wish it was available properly, not just as this lousy, vanilla DVD that doesn't have that many episodes on it. So here we have some Powerpuff Girls, which I was a big fan of the Powerpuff Girls growing up, maybe to an unhealthy extent, because I used to have like the merchandise and stuff like that, like toys and like cereal bowls, things like that. But again, not many DVDs of the Powerpuff Girls available here, so this is another kind of compilation one. And there aren't many episodes at all on this tape. There's only about 6, which includes Craig McCracken's original Powerpuff Girls cartoon, which I guess is something, and some bonus features you can see there. Like, is there a game on this? I don't think there's a game. That used to be fun, actually, when there were games on the DVDs, but, they don't really do that anymore. But again, this is just another example of them putting out a basic DVD set instead of a proper, box set release with all the episodes, which is what you really want. But instead they keep putting out this cheap stuff when, why would you just only want to watch 6 episodes? Like, obviously, if you like the show, it would be a lot easier to just have them all and just, pick which one you want to watch. But they don't do that. They're not smart enough to do that, I guess. And I think this is the earliest release of the Powerpuff Girls on DVD here, which is the movie, which is quite a rare DVD, I think. But actually quite a useful one, because I believe on the British DVD, which is this one, Region 2, it's actually presented in its full widescreen ratio, this movie, because obviously it was released in cinemas and presented in widescreen, but I believe on American DVDs, it's cropped to 4:3, like it's a square TV thing, kind of thing, so that doesn't make any sense for a movie, but I believe on this release it is in widescreen, so this is the quintessential release of the Powerpuff Girls movie, apparently. And it also has some bonus features, like the Dexter's Laboratory Chicken Scratch cartoon, which is very, very bizarre, and it contains a sequence involving strobe light effects. Oh dear. But the thing about this movie is that it's kind of dark and strange and weird compared to the show. Even though the show kind of had some dark episodes too, but the movie, they really dialed it up, I think, and tried to make it, a more darker experience maybe to entice the moviegoers, but it didn't really do that well. I only ever saw it on videotape, but not on the big screen, even though it would have been nice to see, because I liked the Powerpuff Girls back then a lot. And it's also kind of weird that it was an origin story, even though their origin is kind of pretty well known anyway. If you just watch the intro, it tells you their origin story, so I'm not sure why they decided to just make that the whole movie, but yeah, it's a pretty strange one to look back on. Now, when I talk about DVD box sets, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. So this is the Powerpuff Girls 10th Anniversary Collection, so this is every episode, and you can see there, so it has all the seasons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is every episode ever made, I'm pretty sure. Yep, all 78 episodes, plus lots of bonus content as well, so there's some interesting interviews and documentaries and things like that. And this is exactly the type of thing that I would like to see for most of the cartoons that I used to watch growing up on Cartoon Network. But unfortunately, this is only available in Region 1, and it's now very, very rare, so you'll have to cough up a lot of money if you want the this complete Powerpuff Girls set. Because that's another thing about these Cartoon Network shows, is that they become very rare and hard to find on DVD, so I had to import this from Region 1 in order to get every episode. And it's the same is true for a lot of other cartoons. So here are some Teen Titans DVDs, and I never really watched Teen Titans when I was growing up. I only really saw it once or twice, but I thought I should probably check it out at some point, so I imported these DVDs again. So these are Region 1 DVDs, but at least they put out every season, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the Trouble in Tokyo movie. So thankfully you can get every episode of Teen Titans on a DVD. So I was able to finally watch all of it, but the thing about Teen Titans is that I really like some of the characters, like, you know, Raven, Starfire, and all that, but some of the storylines are just all over the place for this show. It can have really good episodes, but then just really weird episodes that don't really go anywhere. Some of the season arcs are a bit weird too, like it kind of depends on what season you're watching. So, I mean, the first season one was pretty good with Slade, and the second season wasn't too bad with Terra, but then the third season had that Brother Blood stuff, which was just all over the place. And I think the fourth season was the best with Raven's story arc. And the fifth season is just a complete mess, though. Like, I don't have a clue what was going on with that season, and the last episode is just incomprehensible. So Teen Titans is a bit of a mixed bag for me. You know, it's saying something when, like, the Trouble in Tokyo movie makes more sense than the fifth season. So, yeah. And here we have Courage the Cowardly Dog. So this is one of my all-time favourite Cartoon Network shows, so obviously I had to collect this one. And these are all Region 1 DVDs, so they thankfully released all 4 seasons of Courage the Cowardly Dog in Region 1, so you can import them. And yeah, look, there's Le Quack. Yeah, I really like the show, because it's like this strange sort of homely feel mixed with all these weird creations that Courage has to deal with. But yeah, thankfully they put out every season, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I think it took them a few years to put them all out, but eventually they got there. But yes, Courage the Cowardly Dog, so you can own all of them on DVD, which is good. So that is one Cartoon Network show that is complete. But this is where we start getting into DVDs that are really hard to find, and you really have to go searching to get them on DVD. So this is Cow and Chicken, which isn't available in Region 1 or Region 2 on DVD, so you have to go to Thailand to get Cow and Chicken on DVD. Yeah, for some reason in Thailand, I guess they must really like Cartoon Network, or it must be popular over there, because a lot of their shows were released on DVD in Thailand, but they're extremely rare, so things like Cow and Chicken, this is just so hard to find, and I don't think these ever pop up on eBay. For a while they were around a few years back, you know, sort of 2016, 17. You could import these, but now they're like gold dust, so yeah, this is a very rare release. But the good thing is that it is in English, and so all you have to do is just change the language, and you know, even the menus are in English too, so it's not really a problem. So as long as you have them, you can just watch them in English, so it's not a problem to import these if you can find them. But the Thailand releases are so rare that I don't have all of them. Like this season 2 set comes from Australia, so even Australia released some of the shows by Madman Entertainment, released certain Cartoon Network shows on DVD. So they had the first 2 seasons of Cow and Chicken, I think, but nothing beyond that. So I had to get this Australian DVD of season 2 because I couldn't find the Thailand version, but I could find the season 3 one, so that's the Thai version. And yeah, I think there were 4 seasons of Cow and Chicken, and they might have released all of them, I guess, in Thailand. Maybe there is a season 4, but I only have seasons 1 to 3, so this is just hard to find. Yeah, very, very rare, these releases. So another classic Cartoon Network show is Johnny Bravo. Yeah, this was always my dad's favourite Cartoon Network show. Just apparently he found this very funny, but I liked it as well. Johnny Bravo, but it's again another one that's extremely hard to find. So this is another Australian release by Madman Entertainment. So I had to get the first season from Australia, but then they did also make the rare Thailand releases of all the other seasons, so this is the complete Johnny Bravo set, actually. So they made Season 2 in Thailand, and Season 3, and Season 4, and finally Season 5, which I remember watching Season 5 when it was new. I think that was when they changed the tone of the show a little bit, but yeah, in Thailand they did release every season of Johnny Bravo, so I'm lucky enough to find these and have every episode of Johnny Bravo. So another Cartoon Network show that is available completely, but again, I think you'd be very, very lucky to find even one of these now because they're so rare, so I'm just lucky to get them when they were still selling them. Of course, another classic and one of my all-time favourites is Dexter's Laboratory. I used to watch this all the time. All the time I used to watch Dexter's Lab. So they did put out the first season in Australia. Again, thank you to Madman Entertainment. I guess they're not that mad if they actually put out sensible DVD sets. But yeah, so this was just the first season of Dexter's Lab, which includes the pilot episodes as well, and a Dexter's Lab door hanger. I would have liked that as a kid, probably. So yeah, they put this out in Australia the first season, but then actually they also put out this in Australia, which is the Collected Experiments. So this is every single episode of Dexter's Lab, well, almost. It pretty much contains every episode except for two ones that they banned. There's like one that had, I think one of the Justice Friends episodes where it had that Silver Surfer parody where he acted a bit camp, so censorship, I guess. And of course the infamous Rude Removal episode isn't on here either, but I think they should just put them on the DVDs, to be honest. You can always just put up a parental warning or something, even though of course that's the one thing that when you're a kid you'd be like, oh, I want to watch that one, break those rules. But yeah, fortunately this is every episode of Dexter's Lab, so it's just a complete set. So yeah, every episode is on here, so Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 and Season 4, and it even includes the movie Ego Trip, so it even has the film, which is a pretty trippy movie. I guess it's called Ego Trip, so yeah, I'd like to review that at some point, do a VHS review on that. But yeah, this is all of Dexter's Lab all squeezed onto multiple discs. So this is a big keepsake for me, because it was one of my favourite cartoons growing up. But unfortunately, again, extremely rare, extremely expensive now. If you thought the Powerpuff Girls set was expensive, then this one is like, you know, maybe 4 times as expensive. Because I guess they didn't print many of these, so maybe they only did one run, and so it's harder to find Dexter's Lab. But that's the one you want, is the Collected Experiment, so that's the best you're going to get for Dexter's Lab. So if you ever find one of those, consider yourself lucky. So here's another Thailand DVD of I Am Weasel, which was a spin-off, a pretty bizarre spin-off of Cow and Chicken. In fact, it actually aired as part of Cow and Chicken initially, and then it got spun off into its own show. But this contains every episode from the first season of I Am Weasel, which I think I picked this up because I wasn't sure if they'd include I Am Weasel on the Cow and Chicken sets, but they actually do, so if you buy the first season of Cow and Chicken DVD, basically it has every episode from this I Am Weasel set on it already, so this is kind of pointless, but you know, it's a nice thing to have, I suppose. But another very, very rare DVD, so I think you'd have a very hard time finding this, so very, very rare. And finally, we have my all-time favourite cartoon, which is Ed, Edd and Eddy. So yeah, this is just my favourite cartoon. It always has been, really. Because I just find it very relatable from a childhood perspective of, you know, being a kid and not being very popular, or, you know, trying all these crazy ideas to make money. I just find it very relatable, and, you know, it sort of encapsulates a lot of childhood memories for me. Plus it's, you know, insanely well animated, done traditionally, actually. All traditionally animated was Ed, Edd and Eddy. In fact, I think it was the last traditionally animated TV show. So yeah, it has the honour of being the last one, and it remains my favourite cartoon to this day, so I'd like to review every episode of Ed, Edd and Eddy someday. I'd like to just go through it episode by episode and just pick every episode apart, because that's how much I like it. But sadly, here in the UK, this is the only DVD release we ever got, so it's another one of those cheap compilation DVDs, so there's just 6 episodes, so only a few there. And it's one of those Volume 1 things where we'll put out Volume 1, but we'll never give you a Volume 2. just like the old Cartoon Network videotapes, which never had a Volume 2, despite it saying Volume 1 on the cover, so they just lied. Even though I think there was a Volume 2 of this set in America, Region 1, so they put that out, but they didn't release it here. But fortunately, that's what we have these Thailand DVDs for. So this is where I first heard about the sort of Thailand releases of Cartoon Network shows, was Ed, Edd and Eddy, because I went looking for it and these popped up on eBay in 2016, I think. I found out about these. So every episode of Ed, Edd and Eddy is available properly on these Thailand sets. So there's Season 1, and then we have Season 2, and Season 3, which they never released in America originally, so there's Season 3, and Season 4 is Season 4, and finally Season 5 as well, the ones where they go to school. That's what Season 5 is, that's when they went back to school. But the thing about the Thailand releases of Ed, Edd and Eddy is that they actually put all the episodes in the right order. So there was a set that came out a couple years ago of Ed, Edd and Eddy in Region 1, finally, which has not all of the episodes, but most of them. But the episodes aren't in the right order because they go by the air date, not the production date, and episodes of Season 3 and 4 of Ed, Edd and Eddy were all mixed up when they aired on TV years ago. That's not actually the correct order. Like, for example, in Season 5, they aired it completely out of order because the 5th season is all about them going back to school, but they didn't show the reason for them going back to school until like 3 weeks into Season 5 airing. They aired the episodes completely out of order. So the DVD set is just a mess, basically, and it doesn't have the special episodes or the movie, which kind of ties the whole show together and ends everything on a good note. But yeah, the set is just a bit of a mess, really. So the Thailand DVDs are actually superior because they are in production order. So every episode is presented as it should be in the right order, which, if you have OCD like me, is pretty important. So yeah, these remain the top tier Ed, Edd and Eddy DVD sets. So I'm very lucky to have them because they are in the correct order when you watch them. So yeah, production order is always better compared to air date order, in my opinion, when it comes to DVDs. So I wish they'd done that instead of being a bit sloppy with the box set that came out a couple of years ago, when you think they should have it down by then, right? I mean, there's really no excuse for making a poor DVD set, you know? It should be a job to put it together properly in the right order and actually include every episode, but they didn't do that, so that's a shame. But I'm very glad to have these, because this is my favourite cartoon, and if you'd like me to review every episode, just let me know, because I'm itching to do it. So yeah, that's pretty much every Cartoon Network DVD that I own. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this quick little look through my efforts to collect all of them over the years. And it looks ridiculous when you put them all like this, doesn't it? It looks like a stupid game of, the stupidest game of Jenga ever. Imagine doing that with all these DVDs. But yeah, I'm glad that I managed to own most of my favourite childhood cartoons. In fact, I just bought one recently, actually, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, so I'll be getting that soon, so that's another one to tick off the list. But let me know what your favourite Cartoon Network show is in the comments, and whether you have collected it on DVD. So I'd be very interested to know from other people what their shows are that they like to collect. So yeah, do let me know, and I'll see you in the next video, so take care.